Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ramon. How are you? Already 14 days into December. I can hardly believe it.
Good morning, Mindy Hahn. We're just getting close to Christmas here. Great to have you. Great to be with you, Mindy. Great to have everybody filing into the chat. Everyone's fired up and ready for a little morning steam action as we preview the card today. NBA and NCAA basketball and hockey. And we got bowl games coming up eventually. We'll get to those previews in the next day or two, of course.
Probably.
We get rolling on that. Games on Friday. One, we might even, hopefully we can get off the air in time for the first bowl game. But and great, looking, I was taking a look today, Mindy, at that NFL schedule. Of course, the majority of the games will be played on Saturday, Christmas Eve, on that day, including just 2 games in the afternoon. But of course, one is the game of the year with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Certainly be an attractive game, even though there's just 2 games in that window and then 3 games on Christmas. So that'll be a nice little gift to wake up to on Christmas Day. And all the way building up, of course, to the national championship and all that. So get started here, and thank you to everyone for all your support coming in each and every day, joining us. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com maybe to get us started and see how everyone did. Hope there was a winning day out there for everyone. Let's take a look. We know the morning steam did well, so good job, everybody. Yesterday, 5-2. Yesterday with the morning steam, so good job, everybody. We had winners yesterday, Mindy, with the crew, especially a few hockey winners, of course. Dallas doing it on the road. We had yesterday also. Colorado and Philadelphia went under. That was a winner for Team Steam. So pretty good day overall. I know the hockey picks were really good yesterday here. So really thank you, everybody, for all your contributions there yesterday. I was 12-5, I think, yesterday in hockey. So everyone contributed, had all their great comments. So great job there. And take a look at the handicapper leaderboard over at Tony's Picks. And like I said, when we're on top of the leaderboard, Mindy and I, it's not just us, it's you guys. So we beat all these cappers yesterday. But I want to point out, wasn't the greatest day, I think. It was a good day for morning steam. And we had a few winners out there. Paul had a winner yesterday. Tiffany, a couple games over 500. Collins, 2 winners. And Brandon must have had a nice dog in there to come up with his number yesterday in the profit zone, if you will. So don't forget, if you ever miss the picks and you want to make sure you're on board with the winners, because yesterday we were 5-2, like we said, you can always subscribe to the packages of the morning steam. So take a look at those winners we had yesterday. The Utah Jazz against the Pelicans, the Flyers and Avalanche under, as we mentioned. We had the over in Memphis and Alabama. That one got a little
like almost 180, right?
Yeah, got a little frisky there late. Alabama, Memphis came back. They were threatening. Alabama started to pull away, and then Memphis came back and I think got the money eventually there. So also a winner with the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday against Golden State. So good job there with Team Steam. So, and all right, take a look now. Oh, don't forget when we mentioned the Dallas Stars already. So, okay. And we'll take a look. Go click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. There you'll find all of our handicappers over there at Tony'sPicks.com. And Mindy, you'll have some games, I guess, today on this card. It's a nice card, not huge, not too
Yeah.
small, maybe just perfect.
Just right. So far I put in a 5-pack of college basketballs. That's what I've started my day off with here. So far, we're going to see how we go through this hockey and, NBA matchups here. So it should be fun. So, yeah, I mean, yesterday I came up with a couple plays after we had the show even, right? Because I got to listen to this team. So it's nice that, we get it. And, of course, my play was the Lakers on the under. That was definitely an under game, right? Until we missed a couple free throws there, at the end descended to overtime, of course. So I think I've lost about 5 games in overtime here this week. So need to get it back on track.
Well, the thing there was that the didn't look great for the Lakers, and then they come charging back and force the overtime, and they still, I don't think, got the money for most people. I don't know. Did anybody out there have a different line than about 3.5 or so? Be interested to see what you guys say maybe in the comments. So we'll let everybody file in before you start previewing the games. Don't forget, click on the Premium Picks tab. You'll find all of our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. These are our absolute best picks each and every day over at Tony's Picks. Of course, you get the complimentary free picks here over at on the Morning Steam show, but to get our best picks, go on over to Tony'sPicks.com, and don't forget all of our features over there at Tony's Picks, including our best bets each and every day. We'll talk about a little bit right here with Paul. He's got the World Cup semifinals best bet today: Morocco and France.
Finally, we're getting it. Finally, all right.
Who will be taking on Argentina? We'll find out. France is a big favorite today, no doubt about it. But remember, Morocco, they've given up just 1 goal in the entire World Cup so far. So, but of course, we know France has scored 11 goals. So you're going to have kind of a clash, if you will. Right now, France minus 175 to win the game in 90 minutes. And, it's funny because they're minus 400 to advance. So I don't know. I mean, that's almost saying that they trust maybe Morocco to hang in there and be in that total defensive mode, giving up maybe no goals and forcing an overtime session, because that's a big discrepancy, really, if you think about it. France minus $1.75 on the 3-way, but minus 400 to advance. I'd almost say, I know Morocco might be a popular underdog pick, but comparing those lines, I'd say there might be value in France, in the game itself. Now, they are a goal favorite in the game at, minus $1.05. So you got to lay a little bit of juice if you want to take Morocco +1. Total is 2 over minus 55, 2.5 under 40. So also over there, Tony T's got a best bet premium pick for Wednesday in the NBA. Knicks got his World Cup best bet. Collins has a best bet in the NBA today. And that's something we can look at. Also, don't forget our packages of picks. Everyone, there's Mindy's 5-pack loaded up. Collins has a 3-pack in the NBA. All right. No reason to delay. Everyone's here early. I think we want some winners today. So let's just say hello to everybody, but kind of before we get started over here, and just thank you to everyone for coming in, getting here early. We're not going to waste any time. Look, Ron Hahn's here with the greeting. Good morning to Ron. Dave Redling says he can't wait to see what Mindy has to say. Only 3 games in the NHL today, so we could spend a few minutes on each game. And MT, good to see my buddy here. And Dave Redling talking about his props there in the chat. Latifa is here as well. Only 3 games, so thanks for Latifa talking about like and subscribe. Blake is here as well. He says Lakers missed that spread, so it came right down to it, right on the number. So Rodney Barton here also says he's coming off a winning day, or we are. We know what you mean. Jose Sierra comes in, says 3-1 Toronto. So he had that St. Thomas first half, George Washington first half, but Hartford didn't come through. Remember, we had two people in the chat kind of on the opposite side on that game. Curtis Mann is here as well. And I think what Dave here is saying, Mindy, is your favorite teams. I think he might mean for the I don't think he means like the Kraken. I think he means who are your favorite?
My favorite teams are the Edmonton Oilers and probably the Seattle Kraken. Edmonton's been from the way back when I used to play it on Nintendo. They've been my favorite team ever since. But yeah.
Yeah, he might wonder the quality of teams, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now you're looking at the Bruins, right? I mean, I don't think we can't say that they're probably not the best team right now. Like how the Devils are playing, but still they need to, I think maybe prove a little bit more that they can be in that top echelon of these, teams. I would have actually said the Kraken might have been in contention, but they suddenly have decided that they can't score any goals. And that's a problem. And that's the same thing with Vegas, right? I can't quite trust them. So the teams I do like right now a lot is, one of my favorites this year is the Stars, actually. I think they're like about plus 1,800, something like that. Odds if you kind of take a look at them. Another team, maybe I kind of like how the Jets are playing too. They've just been a couple two pretty consistent, teams here as of late. But I would say for my favorite kind of underdog other than the Bruins, I really like the Stars. And geez, we could have said the Kings 4 weeks ago, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they go in and out of the rotation here. So it's going to be consistent. And, I think I talked about it the last couple of days too, with the Rangers. I do like the line change they made with Capo Caco, stuff like that, I think the Rangers can still be, in contention ultimately.
Well, it looks like the balance of power is in the East right now. So I think that's one thing that does help teams that we haven't really seen, reach some of those heights of late, like Winnipeg, like Dallas, that, the West is kind of more wide open and gives those teams a chance. I mean, there's really going to be some battles right now, it seems like. Over there, as far as in the East, we talk about those three teams that are really just crushing it right now. So, long way to go. Still, it's only December.
Because a lot of those folks will, it will play itself out as they continue on. So.
Right. I mean, we didn't even mention the Avalanche. You figure they could still, get going a little bit.
And that's the thing. Who's going to take them out? Maybe Vegas, right? I mean, that's probably
right. Well, no,
where you're looking at. It's probably going to be between those two. St. Louis doesn't look like they're going to be able to do, much other than, like I said, we thought maybe the Kings, but they quit scoring too. So, I mean, it's a long season, so we'll have to see, how they fare going forward.
All right, we're going to get started, everybody. Get ready, and we're going to talk about this is a big NBA card today, so got a lot to cover. Hopefully we can grab some winners out of it as well. Let's start to roll with the card today, and don't forget to put all your games in there, folks, all your picks. Don't forget to try to mention the game if you can. And Latifah says we're going to do it today, and Butterscotch also talking about.
I guess I kind of left, Toronto out of the North there, I suppose. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I think they'll be there. It's probably going to be between them and Calgary again, I suppose.
Let's get rolling here in the NBA for today and talk about our first game up. Oh, let's put the right banner up there so we have looks a little better. All right. Here we go with Warriors. They're on the road.
Do we have to do this, Ramon, again?
The Pacers. And, one, big question here is you got to wonder about the status of the Warrior players a little bit. They're coming off the game yesterday against Milwaukee, so it's a back-to-back. That's definitely a concern here. We've already seen steam, believe it or not, has come in on the Warriors. So to me, that sounds like that maybe the Curry will play here in this one. So maybe they won't be taking a rest here. They're up against Indiana. The steam has also come in early on the under, but I'm showing right now in this one that the current line as we get started here is the Warriors are favored now by 1.5, and the total is up to 237.5. Sounds like we got Curry in there tonight.
Yeah, and what's over under on technicals? I think 6 today, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like I got to go with the Pacers here again today. I mean, I keep on wanting to give the Warriors a try and just can't seem to do it here. They're 2-12 on the road. We all know this. Pacers are not great at home, only 8-6, but they are 3-1 against the spread, versus the Warriors here. I'm going to try them. I feel like I should just pass on everything Warriors or Lakers related.
It's just really, really bizarre. But again, we kind of broke it down yesterday about how, and again, there's also something to be said for the fact that a lot of people will say that the season doesn't even start until Christmas. So,
yeah, right.
There's a lot of that too, going on, just pacing yourself a little bit. Butterscotch says he feels like this might be the spot to fade the Pacers, maybe take the Warriors here. You mentioned, remember, they did win a game as an underdog, so they are actually have a better spread record than they do straight up record. Latifa wants the Warriors. Fonzie wants the Warriors. Indiana won and covered the meeting on December 5th in the Bay Area, Mindy. 112-104 as a 12.5-point dog. It went way under the total in that game. So Indiana's 8-6 against the spread at home. So Latifa's on the fade train here. She thinks everyone's going to be going on Indy here. I think it's going to be it's going to be Mindy and I against everybody in the chat. How can the Warriors, a team that isn't doing much on the road? Sure, the Pacers have plenty of weaknesses, no doubt about it, especially right now. I mean, they're not getting numbers. If one thing that the Warriors are actually doing, when they're home, but they've been covering numbers, but most of those have certainly come at home. Pacers, like I said, 8-6 against the spread at home. If indeed Curry, and those guys are going to play, I would expect that, maybe even this spread could go up a slight, just a little bit. I mean, like I said, it's already been the Pacers opened the 1-point favorite, if I'm not mistaken, and now it's Warriors at -1.5. So Crush says he likes the Pacers here. Also, Curtis does like the under. I kind of agree with Curtis again.
Right.
There on that one. And Scott says after last night's game, how will they come out? So I don't know. It's tough, Mindy, because we're trying, we want to always include the chat. We want to say it's, a team steam, but it just feels like to me it's going to continue for the Warriors until further notice. So I want to take the Warriors here. I wish that we could, cooperate. I hope no one leaves us just because we're on a disagreement with them. But Mindy, I think we've got to try the Pacers here in this one to beat the Warrior. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's where we're missing the point here, Mindy. Maybe with the Warriors we should be getting more points. I mean, with the Pacers we should be getting more points, right? Yeah, and that's why it's easy to see it. As the Warriors spreads have continued to decrease on the road, the number of points they've been laying, right? Eventually it's going to get to a point where how much is too much, and maybe that's where the chat feels this is right now. To me, I think we might actually agree with them maybe if it wasn't a back-to-back. Is that going your thinking at all, Mindy?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to, make that trip to in Indiana again, so I think it wears on him, especially after that.
Trip.
Huh?
it's not a far trip, but
Well,
still
yeah,
the
because they
back-to-back.
were, yeah. But it's one of those two that I think just with it was very a very emotional game here. So I think that takes a lot out of a team as well. So I mean, we haven't really seen this happen. So it's one of those, like, we don't exactly know what to expect or how this team's gonna respond. But to me, they already had the woes on the road. Now they have the woes with getting the 5 technicals there. Just still not playing bad. I mean, they're still just playing bad on the road. I think that's what it comes down to is I think they're going to have a hard time responding, especially because they're so down.
And welcome to Lamont Williams as well here. Nice to have you with us today. Hello, Lamont. Nice to have you joining us here on the Morning Steam. Welcome. Maybe we've seen you before, or maybe you've been hanging out with us. I don't recall, but
I think
all
yesterday
right.
a little bit.
Oh, okay, great. And so, all right, well, sorry, you guys. We're going to be on our own, and you guys could come in here and give us the business tomorrow. If this one goes down, right, Mindy? Warriors have lost 5 in a row as road favorites versus the East. Maybe they bounce back. Look, I got burnt, right? Didn't I try to come in with the Warriors recently and didn't work out? So just kind of, gun shy a little bit, I think, right now with the Warriors. So I want the Pacers tonight with Mindy to take the 1.5. I'm actually, talking about what happened, the events of that game last night. And like I said, the fact that the Warriors have been one of those teams that rest the stars. So I'm wondering why they wouldn't again here tonight. So we haven't heard any news one way or the other that they would. I mean, and again, you wouldn't hear it necessarily at this hour, but the line would indicate to me, because the increase in the total, the widely reported steam coming in on the Warriors, that the Warriors star players will be in the game tonight. We know Wiggins is out, but I mean, so it does surprise me, actually. Kerr is one of those guys, right? He's from the Pop school. Rest the players.
Yeah.
See all the big teams doing this, and you wonder, why and again, maybe it's because the travel is not as far, so they might feel more comfortable. Scott says maybe they're desperate for a win on the road. It's no panic mode at this point. The Warriors are, I guess, I think where they're at right now, if you look at the standing now, I don't think they're going to stay down this low in the standings, right? I mean, especially after Christmas. But at this point, they'd have to play the double play and win 2 games on the road, I think, to get into the main, into the main draw of the series. So I don't know. I've got to take the Pacers one more time.
All right.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
it's hard. It's like we have to try to rationalize that,
Yeah,
decision.
especially with everybody obviously against us almost on this one. I mean, it's almost unanimous, the chat against us in this one, I'm afraid. All right, we'll take our lumps here if that one goes down, Mindy, and we'll, tell everyone they were right. They should be hosting. They should be doing the morning.
Right. We'll just be guests from now on.
Okay, Hawks and the Magic here. Right now, the Hawks are a 2.5-point favorite, 226. This one hasn't moved too much in this one, but I did show some lines overnight as low as 222.5. But this isn't generally widely reported steam. But man, that number is getting a little high on the total.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of maybe take a little bit to the over. I mean, I don't want to give any additional plays away, but yeah, it's one of those weird totals here for me tonight. So I don't really want to touch that. I have it just basically a basket, so it's basically right on here for me. But if I take a look at the Hawks here, and if I take a look at their rolling average here over the last 3 to 5 games, putting up 113 points, Magic 108. Hawks ranked 4th in turnovers here, so they really take care of the ball. Well, if I take a look at this Magic team, they tend to be really sloppy sometimes. They give up the ball on average 15 times a game. Hawks 8-1 against the spread versus the Magic over the last 9. I'll be taking the Hawks today.
All right, Mindy is going to be on the Hawks here, lay 2.5 points against Orlando. The only thing that I can say about this, total here is that maybe Trae Young will be in there today. I mean, he's certainly listed as questionable right now. DeJounte Murray still out, but the fact that, this total has been, like I said, as low. I just want to confirm I didn't get that wrong, but I did show as low as 222.5 here, so it hasn't necessarily been steamed that I can tell. I mean, it's something that's speculative for the most part. I mean, I do have the odd screens up, it sounds off and everything, but maybe Young is going to be playing in this one. So Scotch says Atlanta on the road scares me, but he will be with you in this spot. So, man, that number is just getting too high. And, Atlanta's lost 4 of 5, Dave says here, but they are 7-1-1 in the last. What do you say in the last? They've covered the spread a lot, right? I mean,
over the last 9, they're 8-1. So they, versus the Magic here, yeah.
Okay. Atlanta just 5-9 against the spread on the road, while Orlando 10-6 at home. Look, I think I understand that it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I'm just not confident of it right now unless unless we know about Trae Young. I mean, to me, so I'm going to end up going under in this one. I think it's just gone up a little bit too high for my liking, and I'm going to take under in Atlanta and Orlando. Crush is going to be on the Magic here in this one, going against you there a little bit, but Fonzie has a play here. He says Hawks, and he's going to juice the spread. Not sure what that means, but
I think he's going to take some more points. That's my guess. He's going to take some points, right?
He's going to go to the alternate universe. So
maybe get some points.
Lay more points and get some plus money, maybe. That's our guy, Fonzie. All right. Okay, we'll look for a consensus here. Try to see if we can come up with something. We got the Pistons taking on the Hornets in this one, and I'm showing these spreads. Of course, they're about 2.5 hours old. The ones I first flash on the screen. We're going to update them, of course, as we go along here with the latest spreads. Right now, I'm showing the Hornets are down to 2.5, and the total is up to 227.
Yeah, Hornets here, 16-8 against the spread versus the Pistons over the last 24 games. I know it's quite a few, occurrences there, but the Hornets have been putting up about 4 more points here over the last 3 in this one. I'll take the Hornets here at home, -2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you on this one, Mindy. I don't think Detroit's anything special. Certainly to stay within necessarily this number. Maybe it'll be a close game, but like you said, Charlotte has really dominated this meeting over the last 5 or 6 years. I think it's even greater dominance over the last couple of years. So I will mention that the last 15 meetings are 4-10-1 to the under, and Charlotte is 4-9 to the under at home. Latifah's going to come in here with a play. She's going to be on Charlotte with us. Fonzie says take the over in this one, so I'm not necessarily feeling it, although I do agree Detroit does get into some can get into some wild games sometimes because they don't play much defense here. We know the Hornets still kind of missing some of their offense, but at this point, their star ball has been out so many games. You just kind of all the numbers are kind of reflective of him not being in there anyways. So feel pretty good about this one, Mindy, with Charlotte. Not the most attractive game in the world, but we're going to be on Charlotte here. Blake's on it.
Right, a little agreement. Good.
Tifa also says she kind of likes the over there. Like I said, pointing out some of those trends that indicate, and to me, my number is lower here on this total. So Scotch says he likes the Hornets. This one's definitely a consensus.
We found one. All right.
With the chat. So, all right. So we got 2 ourselves, but I didn't mean to say we didn't have any. I think I flubbed up there. We took Indiana against everybody. Okay. And let's see, we might have another comment or two here. And Crush is going to be against us here. He likes the Pistons in this one. No problem.
We'll mark it down.
All right, the Kings and the Raptors. The Kings, they're coming off. Boy, they really were getting blown out. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize to everyone there for just a crummy pick yesterday on my premiums. I like this Kings team, but maybe they're just not quite there as far as going all the way on the road. And now they're going to have to play the back-to-back here against Toronto. So right now I'm showing Toronto is down to a 5-point favorite, but this total is up to 230.5.
230.5. Goodness. But yeah, I mean, I like the Kings today. Yeah, they are scoring about 6 more points here. If I take a look at their rolling average, they still are sitting at second in the league in scoring. Kings are shooting well over 49% here, puts them at fourth. Raptors are 27th. It's one of those that they're still putting up the better numbers. Kings are also 6-1 in their last 7 games here when they play on 0 days rest. So maybe this is a team that they got to get their feet wet, get a little going, and come back stronger the next day. So I'm taking the Kings here +5.
Yeah, maybe the numbers might show spread-wise the Kings. I'm just worried a back-to-back situation coming off that law. I mean, they were behind. I don't know. Were they behind by 30 points or something eventually in that game late in the first half even or early in the third quarter? And I don't know. They got within 16. They weren't ever in this game. So interesting. Scotch says Toronto 8-1 ATS on a couple of days rest. So Fonzie does say Raptors for the win.
Allow the Raptors to win.
And he also says under in this game. So, we're seeing a little bit. I think there was one over in the spot. I don't know. But for me, I'm going to agree with Fonzie here, Mindy. I think you look at, like I said, I'm just worried about the back-to-back. Yes, Sacramento looks like they have the team that, maybe can score some points. And, the injury situation certainly with Sacramento and De'Aaron Fox, but he's expected to be active, I think, in this one. But you look at the numbers: Sacramento 4-10 to the under, Toronto 5-8 to the under at home, and both teams are 3-7 to the under in their last 10. Sacramento 1-7 their last 8 to the under on the road. So. Rodney comes in.
There too, yeah.
Raptors to smash. So I'm going to go under. Mindy's going to be on the Kings here in this one. Sounds like we're a little bit mixed there, but no problem. Dave comes in with more stats for us.
I know. I got some folks against me today. That's for sure.
3 of the last 4 by lots, and the Raptors are good at home. Yeah, Siakam starting to play pretty well now that he's back and healthy. So, all right. This big card, we'll keep moving on here. Take a look at an all-time matchup between the Knicks and the Bulls. Had me looking at researching this game. I went down the rabbit hole watching Michael Jordan's 3 minor league home runs with the Birmingham Barons.
Yeah, you got a little off track, Ramon, a little bit.
Yeah, how did I end up there? I started researching the Knicks and the Bulls game. Next thing you know, I'm looking at minor league baseball clips from the
5 hours later.
Right. So, there was only 3 home runs. Man, it didn't take that long.
Right.
That long, but Crush says it's going to be an emotional game for him. So, these are not necessarily the same teams right now, but both teams playing pretty all right, I'd say, here. And I'm showing right now the Bulls are a 4-point favorite, and the total is 227. Opened as low as 224, not necessarily steamed or anything, but remember what Scotch, he's totally on the Bulls fade train for weeks right now.
Let's go Knicks. I got them today. They won 4 in a row now, like Scotch had said, putting up 109 a game, only giving up 92 points here on defense. So playing really, really well. On the other hand, the Bulls been allowing well over 115 points a game here over their last 4. Knicks here 4-0 against the spread, the last 4 overall as well. I'll be taking the Knicks.
All right. Nick Baca, please Mindy says take the Knicks. They're 8-5 against the spread on the road. They've done a pretty nice job. But the Bulls have taken the widely reported steam here this morning with that move. It did go up to 5, but was immediately bought back to about 4, maybe a juiced up for a little bit. So wasn't necessarily solid steam, but we do have Blake agreeing with you here, Mindy. And Lamont says he likes the over. Curtis likes the over. And Rodney says he does like the Knicks as well, but he wants Jalen Brunson to be confirmed in the lineup before he makes that move. Dave says Knicks are hot. He loves the Knicks here. He loves Julius for his point total to go over in this one. Yep. Total looks too high to me, actually. I'm going to end up going against some of my guys here in the chat today, Lamont and Curtis. I've got the under in this one with the Bulls and the Knicks. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Knicks are 5-8 to the under on the road. The Bulls are 3-9 to the under at home. I've got the under. Mindy's got the Knickerbockers. And there it is. Scotch says exactly what we said right there. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone under between these two teams. And that's, in all fairness to Scott, that's what made me get on, because you think of those, and if anybody's in the chat my age, or even Mindy's, those Bulls and Knicks games were just wars, right? And we saw a game. Was it that 2 nights ago that lowest scoring, the Pacers Heat, right, was 87-83 or something like that the other night? That score doesn't even happen anymore, but back in the day, right, every game between the Knicks and the Bulls or the Pistons too was like 87-83 back in the day. But now look, every total, even compared to just 5 or 10 years ago, man, every total now is a minimum 210, and most of them are in the 220s. So that's how the game has evolved, man. Okay, I don't know. What do you guys like better? Those I don't know. It seems like there was a little more, more variance. I mean, a little craziness with the higher scores, maybe a little bit. Yeah, Scott says taking it back to the good old days. All right, good. All right, good to have you, Lamont. Thanks for joining us today for a little while. Hope we see you before Christmas. I mean, that's 10 days.
Right. We got a couple weeks.
Nice having you. Great to have you today. So. All right, Heat and the Thunder in this one. Well, we got a pretty nice matchup here. The Heat are down to 2.5. Those Thunder, man, the Thunder, they're really making some money for people this year. The total here, this one has dropped wildly. It has been steamed for sure. It opened 227. It's now 224. So Miami 2.5, 224.
Yeah, that went a long way. I had it at like 227.5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the Thunder here, 5-1 against the spread the last 6. We kind of been on them quite a bit here. They've been coming through for us. They're averaging 116 points, puts them at 6th in the NBA. If you take a look at the Heat, I mean, they're only at 28th in the NBA. Come on, Heat, you could do better. Thunder, I think they're just going to outshoot them here today. I'll take them at home.
Yeah, and we definitely know that Jimmy Butler, I think he's just on rest here. I don't know if there's necessarily – I mean, he has battled some injuries, but definitely listed as out, I believe, tonight. That's why you're seeing the move that we have. So Thunder for you said, Mindy?
I'm taking the Thunder. I'm going to stick with them.
Okay, I think they could actually probably win this one. Look, they're 14-7 against the spread as a dog this season. They're still a dog here. Maybe the Heat's put something together, but man, the Thunder is like, it's like printing money. It seems like this season. So Blake is with us. My Scotch coming with a nice number here, 2-13-1 last 16 following a win. So that does date back a little bit, obviously, to last year. Dave Redling likes SGA to go over. I think that's a bummer that Butler's not in there because you'd love to see the two great players in there in this game. So, and Fonzie says, no, Jimmy, I got the Thunder as well. So we've got 3 consensus picks here. I don't think there's any way. I'm pretty sure Butler has officially been ruled out of this game. I don't think there's any. I don't think there'll be a change in his status. But let's take the Thunder, Mindy. We've got 3 plays so far.
All right, let's do it, Ramon. Let's do it.
Yeah, 3 home teams. All right. Hey, the hottest team in the league coming in here. The San Antonio Spurs, winners of 3 in a row. Watch out, the Spurs. Hey, never doubt Pop, right? He'll take a group of misfits and whip them into shape. So they're getting plenty of points here. Can they do it again, Mindy? Total 232.
Should I have the chat just make my pick? They probably already know where I'm going in this one.
I'm sure you're on the Spurs.
I'm on the Spurs. Yes, of course I'm on the Spurs. Like Ramon said, winners of 3 in a row now, averaging 115 points. Blazers 112, Spurs 5-1 against the spread the last 6 home games. Versus a team with a winning record here. I like the Spurs again today. Not sure if they'll get the outright in this one like last game, but I'll take him here +7.
Yeah, I think the thing that only a little bit that troubles me, I'm going to be on them with you. I'm willing to take
You
them.
are, okay.
Yeah, and again, I think mostly because it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points, even against the Spurs. Latifa says Portland does win. Crush, I think he's willing to lay the number. Look, the Spurs I think they're the best spread team on the road at 10-4. I didn't check really the list, but that they have played very, very well on the road as far as covering numbers. Rodney says this one's going to be a close one, so take those points. We don't even need it to be that close, right, to cover this one.
You're
so
right.
That would be outstanding if they did.
I mean, we could probably win this one if you don't score for 3 minutes. I mean, geez.
Yep.
Maybe.
And Scott says, they do lose in an underdog role by an average of 11 points. Look, I mean, we know
the heat, butterscotch.
Yeah, well, no doubt about it. I mean, we Crush says the Blazers, but for some, I don't want to say for some reason. I mean, the Spurs they haven't turned it around. They're not going to be going to the playoffs or anything. They still might finish with the worst record in the league, but I think they've just they're playing with a little bit of confidence, I would say, at this point. So the Blazers, they're, certainly a good team. I mean, from the get-go, I've been touting the Blazers as a team that I really, really like. But here, laying those points, that's all it is. Latifa says they may cover. Blake says he's scared of the Spurs. So,
I don't blame you.
And Dave says too many points, but he'll just pass on it. So, right, because the bubble could burst for the Spurs, no doubt about it. And this one, it could be, you see the total 232. And again, I'm going to stop betting total these 230 games over, Mindy. I lost another one yesterday. I mean, I think the dime that I've given away in the NBA has been all the totals over 230 that I've lost on. So I'm done with that. I'm tired of it, but it may go over.
Not giving up, Ramon, right?
Well, they played just some ridiculous scores, right? Especially in situations like this. So Crush says Blazers may cover. I may have flashed that up there already. We're on the Spurs. So that's 4 home teams. At least a couple of them are getting points, right? Well,
let's see.
Yeah,
pretty much everyone but the Hornets, it looks like, right?
Dave says since Dame Time returned, they're hot. Yeah, he's playing great. Simons is playing great. They're a great duo. So, all right. We're on the Spurs. Cavs, Mavs. Cavs, Mavs. I'm showing the Mavericks here. They're favored this one by 2 now. And oh boy, this is this is going to be a defensive battle. But the
Right?
total has gone up to 216.5.
Right. But yeah, I mean, Mavs have just been scoring more points than the Cavs. I mean, I don't know why they're just not putting up more offensively here. Mavs are hitting the 3-pointer as well. They put up 397 compared to the Cavaliers 325. So maybe that's the culprit there. Mavs are 3-0-1 against the spread the last 4 versus a team with that winning straight up record, which the Cavaliers have at 17-11. I'm going to take the Mavs at home today, -2.
Bindi, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to agree with Crush. I'm going to agree with you. I think this is a great spot. The Cavs are they're not the same team. They're 5-9 on the road. Dallas is 11-4 at home. Yeah, Dallas has some weaknesses. Look, it's going to be an awesome matchup here with I would think it would be an awesome matchup. That's what kind of bothered me about seeing the total as low as it is, right? Because we know that it looks like Luke is going to be active with that quad injury, and D-Mitch is going to be active. He's been bothered by a leg injury, but that total sure seems low for a couple of big-time scorers like that. Sure, we know both teams, maybe have a defensive focus here, but Scotch says Dallas wins at home by an average of 5 points and can't go against Luka. So, and it looks like he's touting Luka for MVP.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah, right. Well, right. Oh, yeah. You said, What about
After last night? No, Tatum for MVP? What?
And what do you guys think that Jokic can't get his act together and do it again? Well, so far he hasn't been quite up to par, but he'll be in the mix eventually. So Curtis does like the game to go over as well. Like I said, I mean, you got 2 big time scorers in this game, and you have the lowest total on the board.
Right.
The total definitely has gone up here. Rodney Barton says Mavs. So I think that's where we're going. We're going to have a 5th play here. Dave said that would be a great matchup with the 2 stars. And yeah, here's the thing. Fonzie's got it right. Dallas does. They do like to work it. I mean, that's why. And Cleveland is certainly known a little bit more, I think, for their defense. But again, when every game is in the 220s, why is this one down at 216.5? But we're on Dallas here. A 5th play for us. Wow.
Here we go.
All right. All right, Wizards and those Denver Nuggets. These teams can't cover numbers at all right now. The Nuggets are favored by 9.5, and this total is up to 227.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one is, hard to figure here on the spread. So I was going to take a look at the total here. Nuggets putting up 117 over the last 3, shooting well over 50% from floor. The overs hit in 3 of the Nuggets' last 4 here versus the Wizards over the last 3 seasons. I'm going to take the over in this one, Ramon.
All right, Mindy's on the over with Washington and Denver. Denver is 3-7 to the under at home. Like I said, these teams aren't covering very well right now. Washington 2-10-2 against the spread their last 14, but the Nuggets have failed in 5 straight. Pretty big number here for a team that's not covering spreads. One thing that I always look at when, say, for example, you have 2 teams that are either not covering spreads, or if both teams are not covering spreads, or if both teams are covering a lot of spreads, but it's a big margin for a home team, I usually tend to favor taking the points in those type of games. Washington is just an ugly dog, but that's what I'm going to be on here.
Okay.
I'll be on the Wizards in this one. Beal still questionable. Porzingis questionable, no doubt about it. But I think for Denver, just a big number. I feels like Washington, all the stars out. I agree with you, Scotch. No doubt about it. I just wonder their motivation to cover double digits necessarily. So you guys probably are right on this
Yeah,
one.
everyone's kind of against. We're all on a little bit of opposite sides here today.
Yeah, I'm not liking the game at all, but I just don't. I said,
Pass.
will Denver be rolling these guys? Curtis does say he does like the under here against you a little bit,
Yeah.
and crushes on the Nuggets. So I almost want to switch the way you guys came in so fast there, wanting to lay these points. 9.5, but
Tough.
like I said, the line just
I mean,
hasn't.
they're just such a better team, but that 9.5, oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And Dave says he does think Jokic is still the best in the NBA and will lead them to the cover here. So it's quite possible, certainly. Just not, 0-5 at home. Five straight fails for the Nuggets. That's what just pointed me in that direction that I did. So you guys might be right in this one. Not too fond of this game for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you look at, the games tonight and the spreads are all relatively competitive. Even that Portland San Antonio, like I said, we took the Spurs. I know everybody's kind of leaning Nuggets there, but these are all nice, good matchups here tonight, I'd say. And this one is too, with Minnesota and the Clippers. Clippers here favored by 6.5. What will the Clippers star players do here in this one? Paul George, I think he'll be active for this game. So Clippers are favored now by 7. Minnesota's a little bit juiced, so there could also be some 6.5s out there. Totals dropped a point to 222.
Again. Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Timberwolves here. I'm going to take the points on the road. They are 4-0 on their last 4 Wednesdays. They love playing on Wednesdays. I don't know what it is, Ramon. But, if I take a look, the Timberwolves have just kind of outscored the Clippers here. If I take a look at just their, rolling averages here over the last 4 or 5 games, Timberwolves also shooting around 49%. It puts them at 4th. I always am a little bit scared of this Clippers team. I think they can always kind of bite you, but I'm going to take the Timberwolves today.
All right, Mindy's on it. We'll give her an extra point there. She could take 7 here in this one. I think I'm going to end up on the over in this one. 12 of the last 17 meetings between these two have gone over, and Fonzie's on it. That's enough for me. I don't need any a trend or handicap here. Just worries me. Minnesota doesn't get very many spreads as an underdog right now. 2-7 against the spread for
brutal
as an underdog. Clippers have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings. Can't get together with Mindy on this one, but
if you had to twist my arm, Ramon, I'd pick the Timberwolves. There we go.
We're on plenty of games, I think, together today with our 6-pack of games. Oh my goodness! Pour a cold one for us here, Scott.
So did I miss one? I had 5 still. Did I not write one down?
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. We can cover them if you want.
Pacers 1.5. Thunder +2.5. Hornets -2.5. Spurs +7. Mavs -2.
Okay. Well, then it's like that old commercial with the Heineken 5-pack.
Right. That's all that's getting to your party.
Right. One guy buys the 6-pack and shows up at the door with a 5-pack because he already drank one.
Right.
All right. And Scott's also on the Clippers on this one, going against you there. And Curtis on the over, Blake on the over. So we're on all that over together at least, but couldn't convince Mindy, or we don't know. Maybe Mindy's got a secret for us. You could get all of our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. Absolutely our best picks each and every day over at Tony's Picks. Sometimes when Mindy and I, end up shifting and giving out one's on a side, one's on a total, we could be actually in agreement, but we've already, have a premium loaded or something like that we're not going to give away on the show because it's already embedded in the system as a play. So don't forget.
So sometimes it's kind of, hard to change your mind if you only just kind of have the, the one option available to you as well. So, again, we have to try to play a little bit of a fine line, but we definitely appreciate the chat room. You guys make the show awesome. I mean, this is what it's all about. Plus, it makes it so much better for us to be here and have a little bit of interaction, and because I don't know if you noticed, but we each kind of like to talk a little bit, so it works out perfect for us.
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't know if I'm getting old or I don't say anything when I'm here by myself, and I'm not even much of it. But when I get talking to you, Mindy, it just perks me up so much when the chat gets going that it gets my day going, really. So it's been just a great experience with you and with everyone here. And, I was thinking about it the other day, and you guys have kind of been teasing me a little bit. It took me a long time to get out here to Vegas. I kept saying I was going to do it, but man, I'd love to one day. Hey, Dominique's here. Nice to see Dominique again. I think
that's awesome.
Had Dominique, but one day, folks, I'd love to see maybe everyone. Maybe we could all get together here.
We could have a convention of the morning steam convention in Vegas.
Let's we want to build up an audience. We couldn't just get a couple of you out here. That wouldn't be any fun. But just so we can get upwards of a couple hundred in the room or something like that. Who knows what we can do and have a great time. Maybe come out here for maybe the March Madness or something like that, or maybe not so crazy. That's a little too crazy for me. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would be fun.
Oh, look, Dave says he wants to. That's just a banner, though. But
yeah, it's see, cloth. Look, it's nice. It feels good. Maybe I could cut out the jerseys and send it. Right? That'd be okay.
The legends.
It's all a mirage in the studio. A mirage.
Never forget that that morning when that Kobe news broke, man. That just broke our hearts, didn't it?
I know.
All right.
Bummer.
Let's go. We've selected some college games to look at today. It's a pretty nice college card, actually. Not exactly a big card, but a decent card with some games we can look at here. And I think we've got some intriguing matchups, I'd call them. Nothing too blockbuster. One very good game for sure. Is by far the best game of the night. We'll save it for last because it's in a late block of games. But this one is listed as a neutral site game, Mindy, but it's being played in Tampa, Florida, between the Bobcats and the Gators. So what happens when a Bobcat goes up against a Gator? In this one, I'm showing Florida minus 13. Total is 143. I've seen this one all over the place, but no true reported steam. But I've seen it as low as 142. That's what happens in the well, those are cats. I've seen it from 142.5 to 146.5, but it's settled in here at 143.
So must be more Christmas deliveries, I suppose. These dogs have been on high alert, but yeah, sometimes you can see their tails wag, and you can see this happening in the back. But yeah, I mean, Florida here, they're 4-6 against the spread. Ohio 4-4 against the spread. And when I do this is over like the last 10. I kind of like to see what's recent here. Both these teams, I would say, are kind of terrible. I don't know if anyone else has differing opinions here, but I'm going to take a look at the over. The over is 11-2. Bobcats last 13 following an ATS win. It's 5-2 to the over for Bobcats last 7 overall. The over is 5-1. The Gators last 6 games following a loss. Over 9-2 in the last 11 neutral site games, if you can call it a neutral site, right, Ramon? So I have this game at about 145. I don't think it's anything like super exciting here for me today, but do tend to lean to the over based off of my calculations. And then, of course, with these trends.
No, I'll go with you on that. Look, I mean, it still could be considered. I mean, of course, it is considered a neutral, and again, it's not their home court. The fans will be basically all Gator fans for sure in this one. So, but a lot of people so far. I've been reading some. I read, some handicaps on this game already, and saw a lot of people that wanted to back Ohio in this one. So I want to take the over with you. I think that'll be the case. I think Florida will have a pretty successful day, and Ohio's played pretty well. They are 3-1 against the spread as an underdog. I say playing well. I say
Underdog.
getting some numbers right. Right, and Florida just 4-6 against the spread. But I want to go over here with you. I want to take 143. Scotch is on Ohio in this one. He thinks they can shoot. That bodes well for us there. So we're on the over here, 143 in this one. Latifah says she does not want to lay 13 points in this one. I agree. But, my number, maybe it got as high as 11.5. Now it's gone a little bit too high. I don't know if I can. She says no.
Tell us how you really feel, Latifah.
Let's go over in this one and have at least one consensus play in college ball. See how this goes with the rest of our games. But Mindy and I'll take the over 143 here, Ohio and Florida. South Carolina going up against UAB here. Total 16. UAB 16, and the total is down a tick to 143.
Yeah, you might want to write Jose's numbers selections down today. He hit 3-1 yesterday, and I think he got all. Oh no, he missed Hartford. I was going to say I think he went 3-0 in college basketball. So yeah, those are ones to take a note of here. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under. South Carolina 4-5 against the spread, UAB 4-4 against the spread. Really not much I can kind of take a look at over the last 10. Under is 5-1 the Gamecocks last 6 here overall. 5-1 the Gamecocks last 6 Wednesday games. Folks like to play basketball on Wednesday. I know that there's a lot of over trends here for UAB here as well in this one, and I think that line has ticked up some. Or I'm going to say I know that it has ticked up some, and I know that there's a lot of trends with UAB to the over. But me personally, I'm taking a look at the under.
Well, Mindy, college basketball has been the best sport for the morning steam team. So when we agree on something, I think it's something for everyone to consider. And I do agree with what you're saying. I mean, UAB is 6-1 to the over as a favorite. Latifah says that UAB might take this one. I think she's suggesting against the number because I think that UAB obviously is a big favorite here. But South Carolina just 1-4 to the under as an underdog, and I see that tick there coming in on the under, and that's where I want to go too. I want to have another play here. I want to take the under in South Carolina and UAB here. Maybe it is a big number. I don't know. Man, UAB, what is Coach Bartow back or something? His favorite big time here. So we're going to take the under in this one, 143.5. Scott says he wants to lay the points and that UAB will dominate this game against the Gamecocks. So, all right, yeah, let's check out Jose's plays here while we have a moment.
Some halftimes there.
Western Kentucky. He says, right, in the first half. Is that what that is there? And, of course, we're going to get to that game in a little bit, so we won't talk too much about it. Northern Kentucky, they're playing Eastern Kentucky, so he likes Northern Kentucky there. Also, he's on Tennessee State. Is that right? I'm not. Yeah, Tennessee State against Charleston Southern. Got it. Full game on that one. Okay, got it there. Also, he says Ole Miss against Central Florida first half. Okay, I'm starting to get his little.
There you go.
Yep. East Tennessee State, they're taking on Queens College in this one, and that's a full game spread right there. And Georgia Southern also he likes today, so good plays there. Georgia Southern is hosting Moorhead. So, all right. Let's get back to the action here with us with SFA. They're going to take on Louisiana Tech here. We want to touch on all the teams if we can eventually. Just once or twice throughout the season. So this isn't too bad, I think. And let's take a look here. Louisiana Tech is favored in this one, -5. Totals dropped a half a point here to 145.5.
Yeah, so we have Stephen F. Austin here, 3-4 against the spread the last 10. La Tech 4-3 against the spread. I'm going to go ahead and be taking the over in this one. The over is 5-0 in the last 5 road games here overall. Over's 3-1-1 the last 5 home games versus a team with a winning record here as well for Stephen F. Austin. Out of all of the matchups, for the day, this game does have the 6th highest scoring, efficiency here. And neither of these teams play great defense. I have this one at about 152.
Getting a little worried here, Mindy, because
Ramon, don't be worried.
Well, that's the thing. I got this game in the 150s for sure with these two teams, and SFA's 3-0 to the over as an underdog. They're not looking that great right now. They're 1-3 straight up and against the spread in their last 4, while Louisiana Tech playing pretty well, won 5 of their last 6. Curtis likes Louisiana Tech to win this game, but like I said, Team Steam, or Mindy and I, we're hoping to get some more contributions, but this has been our best sport right now currently, and we're both on the over here. This one certainly seems like a 150. You talk about the tempo, the adjusted efficiency. To me, the reported steam came in on the under. There's no doubt about it. That's why you see that where that number is right there. But for me, I want to go over in this one with SFA and Louisiana Tech. Wow, 3 for 3 so far, Mindy.
We're doing it, Ramon. Yeah, and this one probably would have been, one of those that I would have put as my best of the best. It's like one of those that it just missed. So if I take my top 3, this one is right under that, where I'd really, really consider it. And so I think it's one of those I would consider a pretty good freemium, right?
Yeah. Well, again, I don't like to fade my buddies, the Sharps, but for me, that's the way I feel about it. I feel like it's going over. So, all right. Well, we can't all the games can't be beauties, but Louisville's one of the biggest stories of the year for all the wrong reasons, Mindy. Right now, these two teams, talk about teams heading in opposite directions. Western Kentucky has been. Well, I wouldn't say they've been terrific because they're 8-1, but they're under 500 against the spread. That's what makes this game so interesting. We know Louisville 0-9 straight up, 0-9 against the spread. We need Dr. Duncanstein. We need Denny Crum. We need all these guys, for Louisville right now. But it's just been just terrible. It's been dismal. And Western Kentucky is favored in this one by 7.5. The total is up to 133.5.
Okay. Western Kentucky, we know they're 3-4 against the spread, and we
3-4.
said,
yeah.
This is going to be I may be looking at different categories than you when I say that, right? Because I look a lot more at the rolling.
No, I just didn't know. I just didn't. I didn't write it down, and I didn't look this.
Okay, gotcha.
I know they're 8-1 straight up, but they have not been. They haven't been covering at that rate.
Yeah, so they're 3-4 against the spread. Louisville, on the other hand, we know are 0-9. They've actually been a little bit more of a an over trending team. Louisville has been, trending under. That's what I was going to say. They've been trending under, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the over actually in this one. Combined, they've each had, this total of 132 come up 10 or more times this season, plus their opponents. So it's not like they can't put up a number of, I was looking at 132. So it's not like they can't put up a number of, 133 here. They've been able to do that. It's just that, if we look at them as a whole, they're not, really averaging much. But Western Kentucky's games, though, they've averaged well over 140. So they definitely bring that average up. Well, Louisville averages more about the 131 range. I will go ahead and take the over. I have this one coming in over by a basket, 135, 136. So I'm going to take that.
Yeah. Well, the steam came in on the under, but the move, it's a reverse line move here or whatever, because it's up to 133. And I know what you're saying, because yes, I agree with you that sometimes those numbers have been trending a little bit over. But for Louisville, I mean, they're 2-7 to the under and 1-5 at home to the under. So we're not going to be going 4 straight totals together in this one. So yeah. KG says, "Are we doing spread?" Sure. Yeah, all of our picks are against the spread here.
I think he means like, why are we not picking us?
Oh yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, right. And we make 1 pick per game. Nice to see you, KG. Thank you. Great to have you here. By the way, in our chat, welcome to Team Steam. We hope you'll be part of our team. Everyone in our chat is part of our team, helping us make these plays. So please make your suggestion, like all of our chat members are. For example, Curtis says WKU gets the win. Latifa says we like Western Kentucky. I think she's speaking for everybody in the chat.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, with me. So I usually, start, if you're not familiar with the, with the show. I have a play today. If you go to TonySpicks.com on this game, right, and it's going to be on the side. And so then my free pick today is going to be then on the total, because I don't want to, have, basically, people that pay money for my picks, I'm giving them out for free. So that's why I go ahead here, with this one, and I'm starting out with the total, and then it's up to Ramon. We don't know what Ramon has in store for this game, if he already has a play locked in, or if it's one that, he can agree with me or with the chat room, or go ahead and decide on the spread. So that's just kind of how the whole gist of the show works out. And then we have the chat room that comes in with all of this info that they do in research. And a lot of times then that's able to, sway our opinion in order to come to a consensus. It won't mind, just because I kind of just lead off the show. My pick's kind of set in stone. So.
Are you suggesting that sometimes, Mindy, I give in to what the chat says and go with them?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Louisville. I'm just kidding. Are you kidding? I'm not going against these guys. I'm going to the Western Kentucky. Come on.
Funny.
The chat says we're going on Western Kentucky.
You had me, Ramon. I was like, you are not just doing that.
Can't do it. I mean, this is one of the most bizarre situations right now. I can only imagine what is going on with the fan base, because they are so rabid in Louisville. I mean, this is one of the great basketball programs in the country, and it's just, I'm not going to make fun of Louisville at all, because it's almost sad. At this point, what's going on? When will they get that win, right? I mean, can they be that awful? And man, just feels just terrible. Scott, well, I like what Scott said, because what did he say? He said, save yourself, save yourself. Save yourself. Take Western Kentucky. So look, maybe I kind of disagree with Mindy in the total. So that's kind of how the show works too, because we just had, you mentioned, are you taking only totals, and we just agreed on 3 totals, because I usually am leaning one side or total, and if she says it and I'm on that, we agree. But for me, I'll just default and go with Western Kentucky. That this has got to keep going. I mean, just awful. But this was kind of a fun game to talk about. So even though it's not the best game, I think we had some fun with it.
Yeah, and like saying that game, like we just covered, like with Stephen F. Austin, La Tech. I mean, neither one of them are covering against the spread. So it's one of those, like, if I'm going to give you a free pick, I'm not going to have a selection like that. So my better of the two would be on the total on that one. Otherwise, if I'm, if we weren't doing the show, I mean, I just wouldn't play that game for the day, that sort of thing. So there's we try to give our very best picks. Our whole goal is to go over as many plays as possible on the show to give you, just an absolute ton of free picks.
Nobody make fun of Joe Jiggy here. He's going to put something on Louisville money line. And look, you're getting as good a value as you're going to get, right? And yeah, KG, we did go over on that Florida game. Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt. Okay, Mindy, we're going to get into the best game of the day for sure, by far, in this one with UCLA and Maryland. Both teams 8-2 straight up. So in this one right now, let's see if it's still Maryland has moved to the 1.5 point favorite, and this total has shot up to 142.
Yeah, I mean, I have UCLA. They're 5-5 against the spread. Maryland, on the other hand, 8-2, right? But when I do my modeling, I run it through two different scenarios. I have actually UCLA winning this one by 3, and I have UCLA winning this one by 8. That's a pretty big difference. So that kind of to me throws up a little bit of a red flag on my confidence, right? I mean, if I'm looking at a 3, well, maybe I wouldn't play this game. But if I'm looking at an 8, well, yeah, I really like this game, right? But I'm just going to say here, because my confidence level is a little bit low with that big range, I'm still going to take UCLA. I do have them winning this game here, 3 to 8 points outright. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm excited to watch it because I am a big fan of the Big Ten. But still think UCLA will get this one here. I know they're faster. I'm not so sure they're bigger and stronger, but I like the speed here for UCLA.
So, Mindy, that is a pretty big discrepancy in your numbers. Would you say that if UCLA did come like a 3 or 4 point favorite, that would make you more apt to consider them for a premium play?
Oh, sure, definitely. If I have them, getting 3 points plus, I think they're going to win by 3. Of course, then my variance is up. I mean, I like to play it if it comes in like over 10, per se, something like that. And that has to do with just, my formula of looking at, statistics, rolling averages, team to team, the head to head, the subsets, like Tony calls it. But that's kind of what I look at. It's just kind of how my brain has come up with a way that teams win basketball games. I think, with basketball, there's, I think really the only variable is kind of more of like the bench players, right? And so I also kind of have a calculation that goes into that with, hey, what is my starting 5 score compared to what my total is at the end of the game? So I kind of know where my variables, range in that aspect as well. Because I think starting 5, you're usually not very far off average wise. Or if you are, right, one guy takes up the slack for, the other guy. So that's kind of how my, basically it's my brain, how Mindy thinks teams win basketball games. And I have that same, Mindy's brain on how I think teams win baseball games and such. So I've done a lot of, work with it, tried to refine it. And I think I've done, pretty well. And that's why I like to bring that knowledge to you guys as well.
Hey, I'd like to say hello to Terrell Riley joining us for the first time. He's also in Maryland like Dom. So welcome to Team Steam, Terrell. We'd like to see maybe some picks. Come on and join us. Maybe you've been here watching us and just chimed in for the first time. So I really appreciate you there. And my guy MT, he said he does like the over in this one, and he got it at 139.5. So I like it over too. And since I didn't get 139.5, I think I'll make it a free play here, Mindy, on the show and take over 142. I've missed out on all that value that MT got by taking this one at 139.5. But since this should be such a great game with two, very good teams so far. Interestingly, both teams, like I said, 8-2, but UM, 8-2 against the spread, 5-1 against the spread at home. But UCLA, obviously, a pretty outstanding team as well. Interestingly, UCLA 7-3 to the over, UM 3-7 to the under. But I'll take over in this one, 142, with my guy MT. So that's a look at college basketball, 5 games that we take a look at. And that's another thing we try to.
Yeah, we have lots of folks coming in here for this game. So good work, chat room.
Yeah. Well, for sure. And that's why, sometimes I've noticed that maybe we've had less picks when it comes to college basketball. Maybe it's the least popular of the 3 major weekday sports, I guess, maybe, or maybe it's the tougher. I don't know. Like I said, it's our best record over there. But, I think for us, we just try to make sure we're picking games that people are going to watch. Usually the major TV games that, seem to be the more popular games, every day. So we don't necessarily aren't going to stiff you with a Bowling Green and Norfolk State. Not that that's not a game that could make
We
our
probably
break.
are on that one, Ramon, right? We're probably on it.
So, all right, great to see everybody. Great conversation in there, and let's go. Let's roll with hockey. Just 3-game card. So get ready.
Oh
Let's see
man, everyone's been waiting patiently. Yeah, KG, we already did do NHL, or no, NBA. We're doing NHL right now, and we can recap. I can write them in the chat if you want to hang with us. I'll write it in there what we picked, or you can rewind and watch from the beginning of the show. But I don't blame you if you don't want to. We'll give you that.
Time, 3 games on the card today. Not a big card. We'll take a look at them. Yeah, we also do football, but just on selected days. We kind of try to preview the games with some games in advance, and then some games on the day of the game. Because gotta like to have some coverage on the day of the game as well, but also like to put some of the games up at least early, get some traction on the show a little bit in video too. There's a fine line there between us. Oh, thanks, Terrell. Great to have you. Good to have everyone here today. All right, take a look at this one, Mindy, up north of the border. Canadiens, Senators in this one. And right now I'm showing that, let's see, this one currently is going to be the Senators. They are moving. They're up 30 cents here in the last 3 hours or so. They're about 215, 6 over 20, and this one could be moving higher, maybe even some 6 over 25s. Oh, I've got Mindy frozen. All right, I can start to cover it a little bit. She'll probably pop back. Maybe she'll catch up. She might actually catch up here. I show that she's still on board with us, and that not that she's disappeared or anything. I'll start with the chat here and see what they have to say about this game. Curtis is going to be on the Habs in this one with that big price there. So Latifa says she is on the over. Mindy says she'll be back in just a moment here. You guys see it. I'm not going to put it on the screen or anything, but a little power surge there for Mindy. So we'll wait for her. Bring me up on big screen here. Latifa says she might be on Montreal in this one, in this game. So for me, look, Montreal, Ottawa's 9-6 as a puck line favorite. So Mindy says she likes the Senators in this one on the money line. So Fonzie says he likes the Senators in this one. So we'll mark Mindy's play down. We won't take too long in the show. Give her another minute or so to see if she catches up. But Mindy's going to be on the Sens here. Laying that big number, it sounds like $1.80. So Butterscotch says Montreal on the puck line. That's probably the direction I'm going to go as well. Oh no, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to get that wrong. I'm actually going to go opposite, I think. I'm just trying to, no problem. I'm just trying to keep it going here, Mindy, until you get here. But maybe we'll just move on to the next game. And sorry for the confusion as I try to balance a little balancing act here, getting Mindy back on board while at least previewing this game. KG says, come back, Mindy, because Ramon can't handle it by himself on the air. Gerardo's here. Nice to see you, my man. Great to have you here. We're just getting to the hockey. We've got just 3 games, so all right, might just move on here, but I'll end up taking, let me get my play. Just mention a couple of numbers here, though, as well, that Montreal 4-10 to the under on the road. Ottawa 3-7 to the under in the last 10 games. But for me, I'm going to be taking Ottawa here. They're 9-6 as a puck line favorite, and getting plus $1.10, $1.15 or so. Boy, I was getting a lot better price a little while ago. Ottawa obviously taking money in this one, but I'm going to go Ottawa puck line. So Mindy and I aren't quite on board with this one. We're on the same side, but I'm going to go ahead and lay the 1.5 here with Ottawa in this one. All right. No problem. She's got to wait for a router to start. So we'll move on, and I'll talk about next the Red Wings and the Wild in this one. And I'm currently showing that the Wild are totally taking money here. They did get the widely reported steam already in this one. They opened as low, I believe, I would say as low as 210, and this number is now up to 245. The total here has dropped considerably. Was 6.5 under 20, then 6.5 under 25. Now I'm showing the total has actually gone to 6 at most locations, and it's juiced up, of course. Mostly 6 over 20. I think you also see some 6 over 25s out there as well. So with the Red Wings and the Wild, Detroit, they're 11-6 as a puck line dog, and Minnesota is 6-13 as a puck line favorite. Man, can Minnesota really roll in this one like you guys are saying in this one? I think Latifa says she wants the over in this game. I mean, you're definitely getting the best price now, Latifa. Fonzie says he wants to take the Wild in this one. Man, that's a big price now, considering this big move. But how about that big move yesterday, you guys? We joked about that game yesterday, about that matchup yesterday with Toronto and Anaheim, and we were talking about some of the dynamics involved when you're talking about a spread that is as high as minus 500, remember? And we were saying, man, really to cover a 500, I mean, all you got to do is win, right? 2-1 still gets you the money, but a 500 would be upwards of like a 5-1 final. It was 7-0 in that game against Anaheim, and Mindy laid the goal and a half. I took the over 6.5, and it got there. So that one, some places even reported as high as 550 in that game when it finally went off. So Curtis says he likes the over in this game, getting a good price here as well. Like I said with Latifa, you guys are on this one together. So Mindy says Red Wings 8-5 on the road on that puck line. So she says she'll take the Red Wings plus a goal and a half in this one. Mindy's going to be on the Red Wings. And, well, look, the way I described it with the Red Wings, 11-6 is a puck line dog, and it's only a minus $1.16 at plus 1.5. I'm going to have to agree with Mindy in this one. I think we're going to have a little consensus play here. Latifa says she trusts Minnesota on that puck line, or on the money line, it looks like. So, but I'm going to agree with Mindy here, and I've got a big surprise coming up here in just a second.
Surprise! I don't know how big it was, but it was
well, you guys know
nonetheless.
you guys know I can keep talking, but it's just not as fun. Anyways, Mindy,
I think I heard that you said you were going to agree before.
Yeah, let's take Detroit here plus the goal and a half against Minnesota. Like I said, I mean, you mentioned it with the Red Wings, strong on the road on the puck line, and they're 11-6 overall as a puck line dog, and Minnesota 6-13 as a puck line favorite. And basically, yeah, maybe Detroit's a little bit juiced there as far as the puck line's concerned. But again, when you got 11-6 and 6-13, look, I know Minnesota's a big favorite, and the puck line price varies, but to me, that seems like pretty good value at just minus $1, probably $1.20 max with the Red Wings. So we've got one hockey play at least. And Orlando says team total over. So did you want to cover anything? We saw your comments.
That was pretty much it. So thanks for holding down the fort for me.
One more game here. I'll let you do the talking here on this one. As we talk about Vancouver and Calgary. Calgary's up, man. They opened $1.50, and now they're $1.75. And the total here, probably 6.5 under 15 still.
Well, I liked them at 171, but I don't know if I could do 175. I'm kidding. The Canucks, they've given up 14 goals over their last 3. I tell you, giving up 5 goals a game, you can't be winning games when you do that. I'll take the Flames here, 8-4-4 versus Canucks. off 2 or more days rest here over their last 26 games. Yeah, I don't mind it at minus 175 today.
All right, Mindy's going to be on Calgary in this one, laying that big price. So they're 4-1 against Vancouver in the last 7 meetings. We'll mention that the over is 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings. Vancouver 12-3 to the over on the road. Do you think this one will get out of hand? Curtis doesn't think so. He likes Vancouver puck line and the under here. Fonzie says take the Flames. Scott says Canucks on the money line, going against you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. But this is the last game, so I probably should take a pass. But I think for me, I'm going to end up bucking these trends a little bit. I'm going to go under in this game with Canucks and the Flames. Look, Butterscotch mentioned the goalie situation, so I think you got two. Markstrom's had problems. There's no doubt about that, but I'm going to go under in this game with Calgary and Vancouver.
Sounds good.
We got one consensus play there with Detroit.
That's all we need, Ramon. One win.
Detroit on the puck line. Well, like I said yesterday, we went 12-5 with our hockey plays. Had a good day yesterday here on the show. So Latifah wants to take the over. Dom wants to take the over. Orlando's here today, and he said,
I know he always breaks down the games little by little.
Over. So looks like just me and Curtis here as far as the under's concerned. All right, great job to the chat. Great job to you, Mindy. Thank you so much. Let's head on over one more time to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look what's going on over on the site. And we got all of our plays. Make sure you click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. There you'll find all of our handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on their individual profiles. There you'll find their profiles, their records, and also all of their previous results. For example, you can click on me there and you'll see that all of my records are there and packages as well, not to mention the results each day over there at Tony's Picks. So you can see exactly how we do on those picks that we charge for. Right? These are all free complimentary selections, certainly. So anyways, thank you for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, head on over to the website. If you missed any of the show, you can also subscribe to the picks from the morning steam if you missed them and didn't want to go back and watch them or anything. Good. Thanks to see all of you today. Nice to see all of you. But what I mean is you can subscribe to our plays. We really appreciate it because the money will go directly to us over there. So you can get all of our plays. You can see our records there and our NCAA basketball record as well. But there are the packages. You can see just get 3 days or a week. Get our morning steam plays. You don't have to go back and watch the show, listen to the show. If you missed the show, you can get all of our plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, Mindy, thank you so much. Great job. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate all of you and the comments. And
awesome.
We had Latifah. Curtis Mann was here. Curtis was here as always. Kevin stopped by. Dom Orlando was here. Fonzie was here as well. Scotch was here today. And we had newcomers as well today. Mindy Gerardo was here as well. But JG 1028 was here today. It was great to have him joining us, at least in the chat, for the first time. We had Terrell Riley also joining us for the first time. Rodney was here today. Ibrahim Diaby, he mentioned he came kind of late in the show here today. So great to always have him. He might have been here the whole time. He usually checks in kind of early. So just great to have everyone here from our team. MT was here as well. Great job, everybody. Joe Jiggy was here today. Rodney Barton as well. So Jose Sierra. And somebody else had, I wanted to show one more if I could, Mindy. Someone else had some plays. If you'll just bear with me.
Joe Jiggy had some plays.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Dave
Those were the only two folks that I saw that had plays today, I thought. Otherwise, people came in and mentioned they had player props, stuff like that. But as for plays, it was Joe Jiggy and Jose because I wrote those down.
Okay. You wrote down the plays?
Of course, I always do. I always write them down because I like to take a look to see, what interests, folks as well. Sometimes maybe there's something that we missed, right? Like that St. Thomas Green Bay made me look. So I went ahead and put a play in on the total and got that one. So thanks, Jose, for mentioning that one there yesterday, right?
Dave Redling was here. Crushed Diamonds was here. Let's see if I could just find those. I don't want to keep you guys, but thank you again for joining us, everybody. But I do remember now that you those plays that came across. If I can't find them, I'm not going to keep us too long, and I'll let everybody go. But I do want to thank everyone for joining us here on the morning steam. I think I've missed it, Mindy. Did you? I guess you could recite them if you want.
Oh yeah. So Joe G, he had Orlando +3, Toronto -5, OKC +2.5. So I mean, a couple of those, we had consensus on. Yep, there we go. And then under in Golden State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great job. Thank you. Sorry about that. But again, it's awesome that I couldn't find them almost.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like this is, to me, it's perfect. Like this is what the chat's for, So I know you guys in the chat are doing your best handicapping out there. So why don't I take a look at it, right? I mean, that's what we're doing. Me and Ramon, we give, our expertise, and then you guys take a look at it. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to make our plays or that we are going to hit 100%. But we know with, me and Ramon, we have numbers to back it up that, we hit 60% frequently, so, I mean, which is, we're pretty good in the industry. So again, I mean, that's why, we like to put our consensus out. Hopefully it helps you guys win. And we want to do this as a consensus as a team, and I think it's working out really well so far.
All right, Thurman Hill, Ron Hahn also were here with us, so I think you covered everybody. Thank you so much. We'll catch you again tomorrow for more Morning Steam. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.